Craig McCord here with PapaMac BBQ. Today we're going to be doing St. Louis style competition ribs. Now, what I've done already, I've already done the trimming. I've taken a regular dual pack of spare ribs, trimmed them up St. Louis style, and we'll also have these, after the trimmings, we've got these rib tips that we'll cook just like the ribs, but that is good for feeding your barbecue team if you're in competition or something like that, because these ribs will eventually go to the judges for judging. But anyway, today they're all trimmed up already, ready to go. I'll do another video going step by step on how I trim these, and I prefer to trim them myself as opposed to purchasing the Kansas City style cut ribs. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, the side benefit of the rib tips that you're able to barbecue, but also I feel like I've got more control of the cut. Some butchers, if you've got a local butcher that you know real well, and they do the cuts for you often enough, you know what you're getting. But if you go to the supermarket, a lot of times St. Louis style ribs, sometimes they're just not cut the way I would prefer them to be cut. But anyway, we've got a couple of racks here, nice rectangular, very uniform, and so let's get started. We'll show you how we're going to do the rub, and then we'll put them on the grill. I'm going to use the 3-2-1 method today on the RecTech 700 bull pellet grill. Actually, there's going to be the christening of that smoker today. Just received it a little while back and got it put together, and so now this will be the test. So let's get started. Now on these ribs, I've already removed the membrane on both of these slabs of ribs, and I'll show you how to do that in a later video. It's really pretty simple to do. And some people don't do it, and in restaurants they won't do it simply because they're cooking too many ribs and it would require too much time. But certainly in any competition, you would remove that membrane, because last thing you want is for a judge to bite into his rib and have a little bit more tug because of that membrane that kind of toughened up than he would otherwise. Also, with that membrane on there, you can't get any of the smoke and rub into the meat on this side. So that's the reason why we do that. So now we're going to first, and some people will use a yellow mustard to act as a binder, and that's fine. I use that too. Today I'm using olive oil, and you could use olive oil or something like that, or the mustard. The mustard does not, when you apply the mustard as a binder, it does not add any flavor to the barbecue, so you don't need to worry about that. It's just a binder. So we'll base this up pretty liberally. I also do it on the rib tips over here. I know you may not be able to see that at this particular viewing angle, but we're just going to do the same thing on these rib tips as we prepare them, and so that we can put rub on those too and get them ready for the smoker. So, all right, we're going to do both sides. All right, we'll do meat side down, bone side up first. Now, today I'm using a rub that was given to me by a close friend, and it's a proprietary rub that's been in the family for a number of years. She said that they would certainly provide me the rub, but finding out what's in it is going to be difficult. Now, I have guessed a few of the ingredients, I believe. I think we've got some, and they'll tell me if I'm wrong, but I think aside from some of the normal ingredients you would find in most rubs, like paprika and onion powder and those kind of things, I think we got some onion flakes, and I think there might be a little bit of cinnamon in here, and I think there's some clove in here, which is very interesting. My wife kind of says, go get cloves. I think there's clove in here. So we went and got spices out of the cabinet there, cloves, and sure enough, we sensed a little bit of clove. So I don't know how much we're on the right track, and of course we'll never know the proportions of the ingredients, but anyway, we're going to try this out the first time, and apparently it was a big hit in their barbecue business back when they had it. I believe it's down in Arkansas. I'm not positive on that, but anyway, we're using it today, so I'm anxious to see how this turns out. Now, one slab of ribs, I'm going to be, and you want to use it pretty liberally. You don't want to coat it thick, but you want to be liberal about it so those flavors can come through. Now, on one rib rack, I'm going to use just this proprietary rub. The other one, I'm going to layer it a little bit. So I'm going to use a little bit of applewood rub on this to kind of layer that and see how that might work out. And I think we'll maybe just a little bit of Kansas City's hog rub, the squeal. So we're going to try that. I've got a little bit of that left, so I'll throw that on there just to layer it, just very lightly here, not too much. Okay, now we're going to turn it around on the other and do the other side. All right. Now, give me a paper towel here so I don't contaminate the rub containers. And we're going to do the same. But first of all, again, I got to remember, I'm going to go ahead and base this side with the olive oil. And you want to try to get the sides too. I want to try to remember to do that, but if you don't, it's not going to be a major deal. But okay, so same applies. The proprietary secret sauce rub, or secret rub, will go on this side quite liberally. The one up here is going to be just this rub. I'm really anxious to see how this turns out. Okay, here we go. And on the sides, try to get some on the sides. Go. All right, now this will add a little bit of this apple rub. You want to apply your rub from a height that gives it a little bit more of an even application. Otherwise, it might clump a little bit. And I've got, well, I think I've actually got a few places on this that's happened. But once you get your rub on there, you don't want to rub it. You want to just kind of pat it in. Let it stick into that binder. I should have done it to the other side too, but I think it'll be okay the way it is. All right, we're going to let those sit for several minutes, 30 minutes or so, while I go prepare to get the smoker ready, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Okay, the Rectac now is at 225. It's smoking real good, so we're going to go ahead and place the ribs on. This is the first rack I did. It's got nothing but that proprietary rub on there. And what you want to do when you first put them on is kind of press the ends together, bunch them up, because how they rest is going to be how they cook. And by pressing them up like that, you get a more meaty piece of rib as you cut into them. So that's something to certainly take a look at. Now we'll place these other rib pieces, the rib tips and stuff on there. Like I mentioned before, we're going to do those just like we do the ribs themselves, no different. And they're going to be good. Sometimes I like to refer to them as test meat. So plenty of room on this. I could actually put easily 4 slabs of ribs on here without the rib tips. And there's actually a secondary shelf for both a small one that you can rest this way or in the back, and a large one with more room to even increase the overall grilling space. So anyway, there they are. They're on there. 3 hours, 225. Then we'll come back. We're going to spritz them about every 45 minutes. Every 45 minutes or so, we'll come out and spritz them with either apple juice and or a little parquet, liquid parquet butter. So let's see how it turns out. It's been on about 2 hours now, and the bark seems like it's really setting in there good. It's looking real good. We're going to spritz them one more time, leave them on for 1 more hour, and wrap them up. Okay, these have been on for 3 hours now. We're ready to get them off the grill and wrap. I'm really liking the color. That bark is set up. Everything's really good. We'll lift one of these things up there, ready to wrap. So we're going to get these in the pan here and get them wrapped up and back on the grill. Now, I said we were going to do good test meat right there. I was going to do some 3-2-1, which would mean 2 hours now wrapped back on the grill, but I'm probably not going to leave them on for a full 2 hours. I'm a little bit concerned about them steaming a little bit too long. I don't want them to fall off the bone tender. They got to have a little bit of pull to them when you bite into them. That's what you need for a competition style rib. So that's what we're going to go for. We'll check maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half wrapped rather than 2. I'm going to go for maybe an hour and a half and see how they turn out. So let's get them wrapped up. Okay, they've been steaming now in the foil for about an hour and 20 minutes. So I don't want to go any longer than that. So we're going to start taking them off out of the foil a little bit. Now we'll check them just to make sure. Put one up here, see what it looks like. No, I think I'm going to let them stay on. I'm going to let them stay on for another 20-30 minutes. So we'll see. Now the white is done as I hoped, or thought. But this is a new experience with this smoker, so that's okay. We're back on the smoker. We'll continue to smoke, and we'll come back in about 20-30 minutes. Okay, off the grill, and now we've cut them up, and take a look at that smoke ring there. Looks pretty good. We're going to baste them up, put them on the plate for the presentations that would go to a judge. But today the judge is just
his wife,
Donna and I. Of course, I'm biased, but she'll be more critical.